Okay, so I want to talk about what do you want to talk about, Dream? Relationships. I want to talk about the beauty and art of being in love, because I went 3 years without really thinking about a relationship, and then I met someone and we naturally just worked, and I wasn't ready, I wasn't prepared, I wasn't ready or prepared. And I didn't even have, I thought I had biblical scriptures and pinpoints, and I thought I was doing everything right, but waiting till marriage and doing everything right. But when God blesses you with a union, then you realize, like, oh, I wasn't as ready as I thought. And so I got scared and I got anxious, and I didn't know that that was normal. I didn't know how to communicate that to them. I didn't know how to communicate the truth to them in a healthy way that wasn't to hurt them. I never meant to hurt them. And I can apologize here for 1,000 years, but I think what's important is noticing the first step to actually being in a relationship is remembering no one's relationship is perfect. Absolutely no one's relationship is perfect. It's about the first step is about love. It's not it's but the first step is realizing it's not about the negative stuff. Relationships are not about the negative stuff. Relationships are about the positive things. Relationships are about love and caring for one another and starting a family and being in your community and being a pillar of hope in your society and changing society and being a champion for love. And that is what relationships are about. And relationships are about being brave. Relationships are about being brave. Marriage is not for the weak. Marriage is not for the weak. Marriage is about being brave. And sorry, I have a kind of pimple right there. Marriage is about, it's not for the weak. It's for the strong. It's for the strong-minded, the strong, and the brave. The people who are willing to. Marriage is about the people who, if you're willing to change, not just grow, but if you're willing to change, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to actually be vulnerable, and not like vulnerable like how you see kind of, but like actually be vulnerable. Like if you're willing for someone to show you all those things inside of you that you're not really ready to look at and you're not ready to deal with, if you're not ready to see how in your faith you're ready to grow, then don't be in a relationship. But there are fundamental keys that will help you be in a relationship. The first thing is when, like, if you're like me and all around you, you do not see any healthy relationships. You don't see marriages a lot in your family, or you see it when they're older, but you don't really see marriages, and you don't really see like happy homes. And I didn't grow up in a 2-parent home, so there's a lot of anger around relationships with me, and there's a lot of feeling like I wasn't worth love, you know, because my parents didn't love each other. And so that means I, as a child, like growing up, especially as a little girl, being like, I must not be worth love because my parents don't love each other, and they always say how they don't love each other, and that hurts. And so now I'm 25 and I've fallen in love, and I'm like, oh, I still, like, I realize love is the answer to so many things. Love is the answer to a broken heart and a broken soul. Love could be the answer to a lot of depression and anxiety that you feel. Love is the answer. Love is the answer to isolation and abandonment. Love is the answer to just anger and rage and feelings of exhaustion and all that. Like, love is the driving force. Like, love is what's going to get you up in the morning and get you to work. Love is what's going to show you that you're capable of anything, and that you're beautiful, and that you're worth it. Love is going to do that. So the first thing, I don't know if I mentioned this already, because I don't have any editing software. I don't have any editing software, so I'm not going to edit this video. But it's like a cool nighttime chill down. Your nighttime with Imani. But one thing I will say is prayer and fasting. Like, go on a fast. If you know, because fasting match with prayer, because you praying for deliverance, praying for blessings, praying for what you want, that all is very, very, very true. Like, God hears that loud and clear, and he wants that for you, and he has it for you, and he sends you that. But the thing is, there is an enemy who's stopping those blessings, and you can like sit around. This is the thing, this is how I used to think. I'm like, okay, well, I know God's stronger than the enemy, so I'm just gonna sit around and I'm not gonna worry about like doing anything. I'm just gonna keep praying and keep praying and keep praying. And then in my spirit, I started to feel like Imani, because the thing is, even with the enemy attacking me, God was still getting these blessings through to me. But there was also so much delay. There was so much like urgency in my spirit, and there was so much delay in my life. And then I finally get a huge blessing, and I realize like my life and my mind and my spirit was open and ready to take it, and it did. But I realized that I didn't really steward it that well. And I was like, oh, why? Like, you should go back and be like, why is that? Like, what can I learn from that? That's Luke 11:28 says, when you're building a strong tower, you need to make plans and calculate exactly to see exactly how to do it. And if you like be mindful, be skillful, have strategy in your life. That is very, very profitable too. That is about being a smart steward. So don't ever just rush into things head first, but be skillful, and know your weaknesses, and know that it takes time to get out those things, but know that God knows your weaknesses, and know that God is going to send you someone that's not their weakness. Just simply put, it's not their weakness. And know that in your weakness, God loves to use other people in Christ to make that strong for you. So that's why prayer does work. It does work. But another thing, when you realize in your life, the enemy is really trying me right now, and I can no longer take this. Like, I constantly see battles in the spirit. I'm having dreams where I can see the enemy is trying to confuse me. The enemy is trying to bring up things in my past. The enemy is coming after me again. Fasting. go on a fast. Like, I'm telling you, turn down your plate. I don't really have too many, like, I don't really have rules and regulations of fasting. I know, like, you can look up, sorry, I know there's like rules and regulations about fasting. They're saying like, oh, you know, basically intermittent fasting or dry fasting or give up meat, and there's the Daniel fast and this fast and this fast, and there's so many fasts you can do. I totally get that, but the fast that I believe in dry fasting, and I know that's extreme, and I know a lot of people will not do that, but even if you can get like 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours of a dry fast, it's like dynamite. Like, I will say, it is really like dynamite. And then after that, go on a long fast. Go on a long fast of like turning down your plate during the day, or like, I know when you're on your period, that's a little bit difficult for women. So what I like to do, usually what I like to do is like, I like to eat before sunrise and then right around sunset. That's usually like how you properly do it, but I know that also if I eat during the day, like today, I had a meal during the day, so I fasted for the rest of the day. You know, so it's just like, try to, you know, and I did go to Starbucks. I did have a coffee, and now I'm just drinking tea, no lemon, just sugar and tea. I did have a coffee, but I had 2 sips of the coffee and it was not good. But that wasn't even because of the coffee. It was again the enemy trying to come in and stop me, but I can't, because fasting works. So fasting, like fasting, whatever trick, trap, or concept the enemy tries to use against you becomes destroyed. Fasting is like getting up in the spirit and saying, God, I'm ready to fight with you. I got on my armor, I got my word, I'm ready to command in the spirit, I'm ready to fight with you. I'm not gonna sit down here, I'm not gonna let you just I'm not gonna let you just fight for me. Like, you're gonna fight for me regardless, but I'm ready to stand up and fight with you. Like I want to be your partner, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what fasting does. And when you and Jesus fight together, using scripture, using prayer, staying away from sin, you know, going against the temptations of your flesh, I will tell you it works. The reason why I did eat during the day today is because and I'm making this video so people can like learn about fasting and then maybe do a fast for themselves, and they definitely see this in their life. But the reason I'm doing this video is the reason I ate today is because I had future work, but I was out working, and I know, like, in the past, last year, I fasted during the day before at work, and I noticed that it actually wasn't, it was really, really difficult, because a lot of people start to look at you strange, like, oh, it's been like 2 weeks and I've noticed you're not eating at work anymore. Even if you like leave, like they can like, are you eating? Like, you're not eating anymore, you know? So I was like, okay, so fasting like works best if it's really private. So I was like, okay, at lunch, eat, and then breakfast and dinner, don't eat, you know? So it's like, oh, people are like, oh, you're eating, like you're fine, and then you go home and you're like, God, when you're in your private, when you're in your prayer room, it's like, okay, because I know in public you are supposed to proclaim God, but I think fasting and prayer and fasting is so private that you really should try not to let people know until after your fast, when you've defeated whatever the enemy, trapped the enemy, or blockage the enemy put in your life. So, you know, and I was really praying about that relationship, child. I was praying, and you know what? It's not even because like I really want to be with them, but it's because God gave me so many, one, reasons, and two, signs. And it was like, but it was again like that sabotage. Like I was like, oh, I don't really, you know how when you meet your person and then you're like, wow, like this is a blessing, child. Wow. And I know it doesn't really help to be like, oh, nobody's relationship is perfect, but it's so true. It's so true. And another thing is, you have to learn that you have to give things time. And sometimes you think like, boom, get together, stay together, never break up, like that. And that's what you want. But sometimes that's not necessarily what's the most healthy, what God knows is the best for you in your relationship. And sometimes God is like, these two, they need a little distance to know. God told me in my dream, this is gonna sound so bad, but God told me in my dream last night, he said, she's too pretty to be popular. And I know that's kind of random, but I think growing up, you think you're not pretty because it seems like you don't get candidates, you know, but really it's like, no, you're actually too pretty. You're way too pretty. And it's like, oh. So yeah. Hi baby. Hi. This is Dream. Say hi, Dream. Say hi. Say hi, Dream. Thank you, baby. He's like, no. Once he like start, he loves cuddling. Like once you start to cuddle him, he doesn't really play, but once you start to cuddle, oh, he's like, we cuddling now. We cuddling now. Ah. Okay, sit, baby. Sit. Dream, sit now. Thank you. Be good. He's like, what are you doing? I love him. He's so cute. He's really like, oh my god. But yeah. So prayer fast. I'm telling you, prayer fasting works, child. It works, and that is how I'm going to wrap up. Nighttime chats with Imani. Next time I'm gonna put on the music right there on the TV so that you can have something, so it's not like a blank TV. I think that. And then I think this is nice because I was like trying to film during the day and like, but then my apartment gets no lighting, but now I'm like, I like this because it's like nice and dark and relaxing, and yeah, it's like it puts a nice filter on my face so you can't really see my ugly. But yeah, and I think also spiritually I look a lot healthier because prayer and fasting. I think just also with this fast, I've seen so much like growth in my own spirit, and I'm like, oh, so I am ready to be someone's wife. because that's the thing, is like God was like, I know what you've been praying for. You didn't ask to be anyone's girlfriend. You asked to be someone's wife. And you have people, real prayer warriors praying for you, that you know, that love you, that are ready to go to war for you. And you're going to war for what you believe is yours. And I'm here to tell you that I'm ready to give that to you. And that's why I just feel in my heart. And God is like, and I know it's not going to be easy for you. It's not easy for nobody. And I know that as time goes on, it's like, oh, you know, I'm ready. I've made you promises. I'm being sincere. No, watch me work. Be patient, you know. So yeah. So I have a book coming out about praying and fasting because it's important. I've seen my mental health get so much better. I've seen strongholds be broken off. The stronghold of wanting fame, the stronghold of I've seen truth come out about things I was kind of iffy about, like truth. I've seen God work. I've seen strongholds be taken off. I've seen my mind become clear. I've seen what the enemy tries to pull me, how the enemy tries to pull me, and how he can no longer pull me that way. I see myself fighting temptations. I see myself just having blessing, being blessed. I see myself just, people look at me and be like, she is so beautiful. And I see myself being more beautiful and more beautiful and more beautiful. And I see that for me. And I'm excited and I'm ready and I'm happy. I'm a happy girl. I'm a happy young woman. And that, I haven't felt like that when I was in my dark time. I didn't feel like that. And a lot of people used me because I didn't feel like that. And then I found God, and no one, I found a reason, I found peace. And now I've met someone who loves me. One man who loves me. And God is saying, like, he loves you, loves you, loves you, loves you. Like, loves you, loves you, loves you. Loves you, loves you, loves you. So much, he loves you more than his circumstance. He loves you more than what he loves you. Loves you. And I think it's so beautiful. You know, I was fasting yesterday, and I got down on my hands and knees, and I'm praying, and I hear him in my ear, audibly, praying too. I was like, wow. Because at that moment, we were both praying for each other at the same time. And that's strong. That's strong. And I think that's such a beautiful thing. That's so beautiful. So, love is so beautiful. Marriage is beautiful. Love of a partner is so beautiful. And I know so many people who genuinely have good marriages. And I think when the enemy wants so bad for you not to be in any relationship, it's because you know You have the tools, and God is giving you the tools to be in an amazing, beautiful relationship, and has that blessing for you. You just have to fight the enemy so he has to get out the way, and he can, he will. So I pray Matthew 10, 9 through 13 over you. I think it's Matthew 10, 9 through 13. Matthew 6. Is it Matthew 6? I think it's Matthew 6, 9 through 13. The Lord's Prayer over you. Have a beautiful night, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Love you.